So hello there, it's Mike with the Fish Tank Barn, and I'd like to welcome you back to another video. Recently I came across a Facebook post talking about the definition of a master breeder. Given the fact that I participated in both a saltwater and freshwater BAP program, and also helped run and create a saltwater BAP program, I really find this topic interesting. So let's unpack the term master breeder, and I'll go ahead and give you my opinion of what I think a master breeder should encompass. So let's go ahead and start off with the definition of the term master. Master meaning showing great skill or proficiency. So basically how we define that proficiency is really what makes the master breeder. So when it comes to the fish keeping hobby, there's really two types of breeders. One I'll call the experimental breeder, who's someone who breeds a lot of different species, participates in your club's BAP program, and continually purchases and sells lots of different fish. And the second I'll call the breeding for profit breeder. This is the person that generally supplies your local fish store, specializes in a few different species, which is generally defined by the market or the needs of the specific fish store they're working with. Generally speaking, I really do think the master breeders come from your more experimental breeders, since they're working with a lot of different species and pushing the envelopes of the species they're trying to work with in order to attain status in their club's Breeders Award program. So now that we've laid some groundwork, let's go ahead and talk about what some organizations feel is a master breeder. First of all, let's start out with my local fish club, the Motor City Aquarium Society. To be an expert breeder at the Motor City Aquarium Society, you have to have 300 points, with 30 points encompassing species in groups C and D, which encompass more of your egg-laying species like tetras, koi catfish, barbs, rasboras, etc. The second example I want to give to you is something I found online. It's called Scott Tetzlaff's Ultimate Breeder Challenge, which I'll go ahead and put a link to in the description. I'll go ahead and scroll through here quickly so you can go ahead and see what the requirements are. So as you can see from the list, it's definitely quite expansive. You really do have to breed a lot of different species from a lot of different genres that have a lot of very different requirements. So definitely one would say, if someone completes this challenge, you could consider them a master breeder. So now that you've seen two examples, let's go ahead and talk about what I really think is a master breeder. I really think it kind of falls in between the two examples I've just shown. I really do think my aquarium club's method is a little bit too simple to be called an expert or master breeder. For reference, to have 30 points from classes C and D, that only equals 2 fish. I really do feel that should be higher if you want to consider someone an expert. So I would consider maybe 5, 6, maybe 8 fish from a class C or D section, including egg layers like rainbow fish, barbs, rasboras, etc. I really do think that's a challenge to achieve because breeding those species really does take a lot of work. In my opinion, I really do think there's another requirement in order to be considered a master breeder. And that's really to do something noteworthy. I really feel this can be completed in two ways. One, you can have a species first in either saltwater or freshwater. So for example, if you were able to breed rope fish, be able to document it, be able to verify it, etc., and be recognized as the first person to breed that fish, you could be considered a master breeder. Another way I feel you can do something noteworthy is to breed an extremely difficult species, say something like a Shodenai puffer, or breeding some of the more difficult saltwater species, like the center pyge angelfish, or even some of the larger fish that require rotifers or copepods for their foods. Culturing these foods is extremely difficult, having to set up an entire ecosystem with the base algae in order to feed the rotifers or copepods. It really takes some dedication and experimentation in order to get it right. Some of these fish really do have difficult life cycles, as they go through a metamorphosis phase from turning from larva to an adult fish. This can be very challenging for the breeder to manage, so along with the food and managing these other elements, doing something like that would also make you a master breeder in my mind. I really don't do a lot of opinion pieces here on YouTube, but this is one that kind of struck near and dear to my heart. So I am definitely really interested to hear what you think about a master breeder. So with that being said, stay safe out there, stay fishy, and I'll catch you on the next video.